So good afternoon, everybody. So today I'm gonna talk a little bit about theory of mind plasticity, and I will do that by looking at the effect that the school context has on children's theory of mind during middle childhood. I think that's an important question because we know that.
Franklin?
Yeah. Okay, I think that's an important question because we know that theory of mind matters for children at school. It influences their academic achievement and their social relationships with peers, but also with teachers. That's perspective taking. Existing research clearly shows that theory of mind is sensitive to environmental influences. We know that the relationships children have with others, the activities that they are exposed to, even in trainings, and the culture they are raised in. All these factors matters for individual differences in theory of mind, but this research is very much biased towards young children and family context. So we know very little on whether and how other environments affect the ongoing development of theory of mind. And that's actually the focus of this talk, where I look at how school affects children's theory of mind, and I will do that by looking at teachers first and then at peers in the second study. So I think we all know that teachers vary from each other, and we know that teachers impact children in a variety of ways. In this study, we selected two factors that are potentially related to pupils' theory of mind. They looked at mental state language and at the use of conversations in teaching. And we looked at them using self-reported measures. We asked teachers what they do in disciplinary situations and how important conversations and group work is for them. We worked with 27 teachers, more than 400 children, year 3, 4, and 5 of primary school. And what we found was that there is indeed a difference across classrooms in pupils' theory of mind, and this difference is explained by both teachers' self-reported propensity for mental state language and for conversational instruction strategies. And what I think is if a child has a teacher who uses more who self-reported to use more mental state language and more conversations, these children, they tend to do better in theory of mind. And that's over and above a number of teacher and children related variables. So we control for teachers' own theory of mind ability, their teaching experience, verbal ability, and also children age, verbal ability, socioeconomic status, and number of siblings. But of course, when children are at school, they not only interact with their teachers, they spend quite a lot of time with their peers. So we wanted to look at peers' effect. And we did that in a slightly different way. So instead of looking at the effect that peers' relationships have on children's theory of mind, we looked at the effect that peers' theory of mind has on children's development of their own theory of mind. Basically, what we wanted to do was to test what we call the variety hypothesis. So according to the variety hypothesis, being in a classroom where there's a high degree of diversity in peers' theory of mind level is good for, these children should do better than those children who belong to a more homogeneous classroom. So this is the very first time that we looked at it, but there's some indirect evidence suggesting that difference is good for theory of mind. So we know that children who belong to a mixed age classroom or an inclusive classroom, they tend to be better at theory of mind. And in a study we did with Rory Devine, we also found that children who have cross-ethnic friendships, they tend to have a better theory of mind than those who don't. So this was a longitudinal study. We again have 450 more children. We follow them for 1 year. We measure their theory of mind using silent film and strange stories. And again, we found that the context matters. So we found that the grade of variety in Pear's tome at time 1 significantly predict children's own theory of mind at time 2. And this again was over and above classroom size, children's age, gender, socioeconomic status, verbal ability, special education needs, social isolation. And this effect was not moderated by children's tone level and children's social isolation. So it was true for those who had a high and low level of tone, and it was true for those who had friendships in the classroom and those who didn't. So it seems that the variety is good. So that basically what we think is that through variety, children are exposed to different perspectives on the same things, which is the core of theory of mind, perhaps increasing awareness of the subjective nature of theory of mind, and also perhaps increasing mental state conversations. And again, both high and low level tone children benefit from variety, perhaps through different mechanisms. So the good ones may have as a teaching, and those who are less able can benefit from scaffolding from the good ones, for the higher level ones. And interestingly, this effect was also found for those children who were isolated, for those who didn't get any friendship or most like reciprocal denominations in the classroom. So I think these data tell us something about the fact that school environment has the potential to shape children's social cognition and theory of mind development. And they also speak to the fact that theory of mind is malleable, is workable, probably at this age. And we also know that from training studies. And on a theoretical level, these data also extend social constructivist accounts to an age that has been overlooked in the literature. Thank you for listening.